Choke, no joke. Chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicky choke, no joke. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. Choke, no joke. If you're not subscribed to the channel by now, man, you missing out on a lot of jewels, baby. You know what I mean? I'm out here educating those who are uneducated or need to be educated about this game. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button if you like what I'm doing. And always join us in the comments and having conversations, because I am in the comments kicking it with y'all, right? When I got time, I definitely get in and I chime in. But we have a community where we build together. You know, the haters come in time from time and come in and hate. But, you know, speaking of haters, I want to comment on this dude Cameron, how he talked about how he was the biggest drug dealer in Harlem history. He had a better run than OG Juan and all these guys, right? The Fritz, the Rich Porters, the Alpo. Cameron said he had a bigger run than everybody with the drugs that he was selling in Ohio. Stupid comment to make. Stupid statement to make. But let's just go with that for a minute, right? So Cameron makes this statement out. He sold more drugs than anybody in Harlem. Is that a flex? No. Because you didn't sell those drugs in Harlem, for one. You talked about how you was selling drugs in Ohio, Cincinnati, Dayton, Cleveland, Columbus, wherever. But you went to another state and you poisoned their community and you bragging about it. And all the dudes in Ohio are supposed to be proud that you went to their state and infested their communities with drugs, whether it be weed, coke, heroin, whatever it is. But now you want to brag about how much drugs you sold out in Ohio, right? Wow, you got a rap career. So you took your rap money and you went and flipped it in the streets. By the grace of God, be happy that you never caught a case like your boy Biggs from Roc-A-Fella. So while you at Roc-A-Fella, you know, and Dame get you a deal, you know, and you get some advance money, you allegedly go and flip it in the streets, right? And now you're bragging about how you sold all these drugs in Ohio. I don't know if that's the smartest thing to say, right? But I guess the statute of limitations is up. You got away with it. But I can imagine how many people went to jail, how many people died, you know, how many people got addicted, how many families got destroyed by the drugs that you sold out in Ohio. Right. Meanwhile, you on stage doing shows, but you got dudes in different parts of Ohio selling drugs for you, but you sitting there acting like you getting all this money from rap. Let that be a lesson to y'all out there. That these dudes, just like Biggs, that's Kareem Biggs Burke, right? Here he is, the CEO of Roc-A-Fella. They selling millions of records. Rockaware is making hundreds of millions of dollars at this time, even though he wasn't a partner. And this dude is still selling drugs in the streets. Rest in peace to his brother Barbara. Even his brother got killed over a key of cocaine. I don't know if they robbed him for it. It was a deal going bad, but his brother got killed and drugs was involved. Can you imagine being the CEO of Roc-A-Fella or being Cameron and being an artist on Roc-A-Fella and y'all sitting there going gold and platinum, but y'all niggas is still in the street selling drugs? Y'all find that hard to believe, right? Well, it's public record. You could go and see, and Cameron said it himself, even though he didn't get arrested. But Biggs got arrested and did 5 years, right? While Roc-A-Fella, while Dame and Jay was still alive, which makes me wonder if Biggs is still selling drugs and Cameron is still selling drugs and OG Juan, they allegedly said, was Jay-Z's plug. You know, his wife, Desiree Perez, she was selling drugs and flipped on the cartel. I'm wondering, and then Jay-Z said he was selling drugs and Emery went to jail and D. Haven went to jail. Could they all have been still selling drugs at the time we were still at Roc-A-Fella? Was Baseline allegedly a front like Club Truth in the show Power? Because if Biggs is still selling drugs and OG Juan, who was allegedly Jay-Z's drug connect, is now Jay-Z's partner in the music game, right? And his wife was connected to a cartel and she snitched on him out and she was a drug dealer. Is it possible that they all was still selling drugs? You got Cameron moving drugs in Ohio, according to him. You got Biggs still selling drugs, right? And he caught a 5-year bid. Who's to say that OG Juan, Jay-Z, and Desiree allegedly wasn't still selling drugs? Is that far-fetched to believe? Because I'll never forget the day John McNeely came in there in the office when me and Dame was in there. And it was just me and Dame. And he came in and he said, man, the feds is getting ready to run up in the labels. That nigga Dame turned whiter than his t-shirt. He was like, but you all right. You ain't got nothing to worry about, right? And I've been around Dame more than anybody, damn near, in those 4 or 5 years it was that I was at Roc-A-Fella on a daily basis, documents like, I've never heard him talk about doing any drugs or selling any drugs or anything drug related. I'll give Dame that, and I'm not sitting here defending him. But Biggs, I've seen him smuggle $4,000 worth of seeds from Amsterdam into Paris. I seen him growing in his house, and the maintenance people come in and because the pots was leaking to his neighbor's house, and they go up in his house and they find out he was growing in his apartment. I seen him get arrested with a whole bunch of other people, and you can pull up the video, him doing the perp walk and doing 5 years. So I've seen him selling drugs. I'm just saying, when it comes to Emery, Ty, D. Haven, Jay-Z, Jay-Z was their boss. And somehow he wasn't on any paperwork or on any wiretaps, but they said allegedly that he was the one giving them everything, and allegedly OG Juan was his plug. And OG Juan is married to Desiree Perez, who we know was selling drugs. So who's to say that during our run at Roc-A-Fella, that baseline allegedly probably was a front? Because Jay could go and invoice Def Jam and say, oh, I did X amount of hours in the studio. Yo, y'all got to pay us this. And they could be washing money that way, allegedly. Right? But we all know they was dealing drugs. And if Biggs is dealing drugs and they got a business running and Cameron is selling drugs and he got a record deal and he going gold and platinum, but he's still selling drugs in Ohio. Why wouldn't I think that Jay-Z and OG Wan and Desiree and them allegedly couldn't still been moving work? Biggs is still selling drugs. Cameron is still selling drugs. I'll get back to y'all on that one. Hit me in the comments and tell me, do you think that's far-fetched or not? And just a thought. I ain't saying they was. I said allegedly. It's just a thought. Choke no joke. I'll be back.